Bealtaine blessings, dear friends. So, tonight is the eve of May, and in our traditions here in Ireland, all the great ancient feasts were celebrated in the eve of the actual day. So, this is because, it was felt, believed that everything starts in the darkness. All life comes out of the darkness, whether from the womb or from the earth. And so traditionally the festivals were celebrated on the eve. So May Eve was a very potent, important celebration for our ancestors. And, there's lots of discussions about whether it should be celebrated on the actual cross-quarter day, which is the midpoint between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. And this year it happens, I think, on the eve of the 6th, or it's on the 6th of May, or is it the 7th? So anyway, it's usually, about well into the first week of May that this happens. And it's because, they were looking at the movement of the stars rather than the Gregorian calendar, which of course is a modern Christian calendar. So I always feel it's great to celebrate all of these days because, when we celebrate May Eve, it's really honouring our recent ancestors, the people who lived on this land here where I live, and, those more ancient ancestors who, built the magnificent stone monuments, stone temples to capture and harness the energies of the stars and the moon and the sun. So, yeah, certainly astronomically, the May Bealtaine would be on the 6th of May, which would be the eve of the cross-border day. So anyway, it's just beautiful. I'm going away for a few days working, so for me it was really important to celebrate it this evening. And as I say, it's because I really love the idea of honouring our recent ancestors. So Bealtaine here in Northern Europe is the beginning of summer. So, I know a lot of people, particularly in the Mediterranean, don't understand how we could say it's beginning of summer. But it's because, when you divide the year into the 8 cross-quarter dates, into the 8 eighths, that you get this movement of the seasons a little bit differently. Because, here our spring begins on the 1st of February, which is very early. Most of the rest of Europe and a lot of the northern hemisphere is still under snow, but we, being in this temperate climate, the grass starts growing, the nettles start coming, all the flowers, the first flowers begin. And now, of course, we're on the eve of May, and all the incredible flowers are blooming. Like we've got these beautiful bluebells and buttercups and the primroses, of course. So it's always such a joy to see these, and I love to spend a little bit of time sitting with the flowers and really appreciating their beauty and their simplicity, and really, just sitting in the bliss of nature, because it is such an uplifting practice. So yeah, Bealtaine then, in the tradition that I follow, it's when we transition from the time of the spring equinox, which was presided over by the great goddess Bowen, and we move to the time of Maeve and Bealtaine. So Maeve is such a powerful archetype in our stories and our mythologies, and she, was this fierce warrior queen, and they say that she was very much a matriarch. And there are the Christian stories that have come down to us tell us of her being quite a battle frenzied type character who was very quick to go to battle. And we hear of her in particular with this great story of the cattle raid of Cooley, which is in Irish the Táin Boy Coolia. And so Maeve is this archetypal warrior, but also she is also very much the sovereign queen, and that is the aspect that I think is really important for us to embrace, because of course this idea of being sovereign and navigating from our own inner compass is so essential in these times that we're living. So Maeve carries this very powerful message for us. She is the warrior queen. She also holds the chalice. And the chalice, of course, is symbolic of our womb, of the blood, of the sacred mysteries. And so this time of year, with the blossoming, the flowering, was the time of the maiden, where the young woman becomes fecund. She has her first blood, and she's ready to give herself to the miracle of life, if that is to be. And so it's this time of year of great fertility, of the rising fertility of the land. It's like nature is at her most potent. It's really this feeling of the burgeoning forth of nature after this long deep sleep. And so so it's really, like I say, this time of fertility. And it's the coming together of the divine masculine, the divine feminine, in this hieros gamus, the sacred marriage. And again, our stories from mythologies and the folk traditions tell us about how Maeve was the time where the king would make love to the earth to ensure the renewal of the tribe and of the earth herself. And so the earth then was embodied or represented by one of the priestesses of Maeve. And the name Maeve itself means like this intoxication, this being taken away taken by the moment, or in this case, with the story of the hieros gamus, it's like being completely taken by this act of fertilizing, representing the fertility of the land. So we have this coming together of the male and female, the sacred chalice of the blood, which holds the power to regenerate the tribe, and also with the masculine and his milk of human kindness. The sperm, of course, that is what catalyzes the fertility. And so, this time coming together of the masculine and the feminine, a very beautiful symbol for us. And one first of all, of course, we want to embody it within ourselves, these aspects of the positive and the negative, the alpha, omega, the yin, the yang, the masculine and feminine, the structured and the flowing. And, so a powerful symbol, like I say, to really come into union within ourselves first, because unless we are in our center, really sovereign in our own knowing of who we are and what our gifts and our skills are, we become if we aren't in this power-filled place, we can end up in relationships that are out of balance. And similarly, so this awareness, or this consciousness of the positive feminine aspects and the positive masculine aspects, because of course this coming together, this sacred union, has become so distorted in our modern culture, where the male act of taking advantage or abusing or raping a woman is, of course, such a violation of the sacred energy. And so it's so important to be in our sacred self, to be aware that we are embodiments of the divine. Each one of us is an embodiment of the divine. They talk about how the universe wants to experience itself through us as humans. So, I think this is a very beautiful observation, that each one of us is an aspect of the divine. And so, yeah, living this in the sense of the sacredness of every moment, that there is no separation between the sacred and the profane, and this was very much a part of our tradition here in Ireland, where, everything was a blessing. When you said, you didn't say hello, you said, God be with you. Or, in the baking of the bread, a cross was made as a symbol in the bread. When the milking was done, a little bit of the milk was given back to the earth, or even, to the fairies. It is said to, to honor all the aspects. And, so this time of Bealtaine was really about coming into balance as well with the spiritual and the physical, and the materials. So yeah, a very powerful symbol in our consciousness, this coming together of the divine masculine and the divine feminine to fertilize the earth, to fertilize the land, to bring about renewal of the people, renewal of the animals, the renewal of the crops. So yeah, really, really beautiful to be in that awareness of it, because it really is such a powerful way to live our lives, in this awareness of the sacredness of all things. And so wishing you a very beautiful incoming summer festival of Bealtaine. And so I will be celebrating for nearly 2 weeks, I think, because we have the actual cross quarter day Bealtaine on the 6th, the 7th of May, and then on the Hill of Ishnuk there will be the lighting of the Bealtaine fires. So and I always feel as well that it really is that the ancient people would have been working with the moon as well. So next week is the new moon, and then there's another 2 weeks then to the full moon. And so this whole time would have been a time of celebrating, and I think the full moon in particular would have been a really important time to gather and to celebrate. And the time of Bealtaine is said to have been a time for the making of marriages, when people were betrothed to each other. The deals would be made and they would be married then at summer solstice. So many traditions associated with Bealtaine. There's lots of superstitions as well, like, the hare, of course, was a great symbol of the goddess here. And it was said, that if you saw a hare first thing in the morning, that she might rob your milk, or, so there were all sorts of superstitions associated with Bealtaine. But as with each of these cross-quarter days, it is said that the veil was thin, that the ancestors draw close. So really beautiful to honour our ancestors, and, really aware of that ancestral wisdom, that grandmother wisdom that, we carry within us, that knowing of how to be in nature, how to live in right relationship with the earth and with the people that we interact with. So wishing you many blessings for this time of Bealtaine. And just wanting to see if I can show you some of the beautiful bluebells. And the primroses, of course. Yeah. Bless it is.